Hi, everybody, and welcome back for the second hour of tonight's 3-hour RWL Sweet Revenge, Hotter Than July Supercard. Well, if you were around for our one, you ain't seen nothing yet. Coming up in this next R block, 4 big matches, and 3 of them with championship implications. So kick back, re-up on the snacks, and let us do the rest.
Oh yeah, 3 title matches and a 6-man tag match means a crowded card. So let's get things going with the next match. The Yankee Rose Miss Georgia Washington, invoking a rematch clause in her contract, set to again challenge Angie Angel-Gunz for the RWL Women's International Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next match, one fall with a 15-minute time limit, is for the RWL Women's International Championship.
Georgia's been catching all kinds of breaks and all kinds of championship opportunities.
Ain't it the truth?
She dropped her match against Jeannie Parker for the women's world title, but now she's got her sights on Angie Angel-Gunz and the women's international, and despite it being maybe a little annoying, there's nothing underhanded or sneaky about her doing it. That rematch clause in the match contract was her insurance policy for another bite at the apple. Well now, she's all out of options. So it's either win the belt or sit down for about 3 months before she could even think of another shot, and that would be if she wins most if not all of her future matchups. She may be a nuisance to her opponents, but she's far from stupid.
I'll give it that much. And despite Georgia Washington's svelte figure, she has got what you might call a plus-size ego.
And boy howdy, has that ego ballooned to epic proportions since Kurt Angle cut her loose as his valet. You might think she would have been taken down a peg or two by that, but oh hell's bells no, she's only gotten worse. And those many title chances you mentioned, Christie, are a big part of that. Georgia sees herself as not only a key player in our world, but firmly, and I mean firmly, believes she is gonna be at the very top someday as women's world champion at some point in the future. And would you look at this? Very demanding, very obnoxious, to the point of having our ring officials doubling as her personal valets. She may be talented, but she's also epic level distasteful.
Epic level distasteful. I like the sound of that.
Meanwhile, here's the real women's international champ, riding quite high since taking the women's international title from Jody Vork, the daughter of Mr. Ringside Eddie Gunz, and niece of El Jefe Ray Gunz, the captain of the ladies tag trio, Next Gen, along with Rosita and Sophie Spartan. We haven't seen a lot of Next Gen in action lately, but Angie assured me she and her partners will be back in action together very soon, with their eye on the ladies tag trio titles, now held by Les Femmes Fatales.
And like her dad and her uncle in the Gunz family dynasty, Angie Angel-Gunz, full of grit and determination. Well, this is going to be Georgia Washington's last shot, so she's going to have to make it count.
Introducing first the challenger from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. She is the Yankee Rose Miss Georgia Washington. And her opponent from New York City, she is the WL Women's International Champion, Angie Angel-Gunz.
Well, with only one rematch clause in her contract, it's win now or forever hold your peace for Georgia Washington. Referee Anthony Corallo sounds the bell. Georgia charges, catches a knee in the head from Angie. Angie Angel-Gunz rounds her up. Oh, look at this. Oh, Angie is driving her face first into the canvas. Angie Angel-Gunz Countered by Georgia Washington, a swing and a miss. A hard right from Angie. Angie Angel-Gunz has her by the throat, has her up. Whoa! Tried for the choke slam, but countered into an arm drag by Georgia Washington. The Yankee rolls. Rounds up Angie Angel-Gunz. Up and over the shoulders into the fireman's carry, but whoa, wait a minute now. Oh, that was foul. Angie Angel-Gunz on the canvas and finding herself in trouble. Georgia Washington begins to press the attack. Angie shoves her away, both boots, stands right up, rebounds off the middle rope, a flying punch. Takes down the Yankee ropes. Georgia Washington catches a basement drop kick to the back. As Angie makes her way quickly to the top turnbuckle in the far corner, and here we go, elbow across the chest for Georgia Washington. Here's a cover, one, but barely just a one. Georgia Washington still up, rolls up to her standing position, locks up Angie Angel-Gunz, whips her over the top rope out onto the floor, and the Yankee rolls. Feeling like she's done something major, here comes Angie Angel-Gunz, rebound off the ropes, another flying punch to make her pay for that. Georgia Washington gathered up, hard right hand from Angie Angel-Gunz, a stomp to the midsection. Angie slams her, gets slammed face down to the canvas. Georgia Washington trying to turn things around here as she begins to go to work on a down to Angie Angel-Gunz. Here's a head scissors and a couple of knocks on the head. Georgia Washington rounds up Angie. Angie counters into a jawbreaker. Angie catches a right from Georgia. They lock up. Angie winds her up, goes behind. Back suplex. Angie Angel-Gunz, the women's international champion, rounds up Georgia again, and here it is again, another one of those beautiful underhook slams, face first into the mat. Georgia Washington scrambles into the corner, catches a boot to the chest, catches another, and now a couple of boots to the face. And Angie Angel-Gunz has turned things around again, and here's another cover. One. Just one. Angie Angel-Gunz quickly back up to a standing position. Oh! Drove an elbow right in there, and whoa, did it again. Georgia Washington. Whoa! Angie Angel-Gunz over the top rope, crashes and burns on the high-risk maneuver. Georgia, likewise. Oh, that did not work out for either one of them. And now we're on the outside with the referee counting. Georgia tried for the drop toe hold, didn't get it, nails Angie with the right hand. Drives her into the barricade. Angie quickly evades a clothesline, takes Georgia Washington down to the floor. Angie drives Georgia Washington head first into the ring post. I don't know the words or I'd sing it for text. Hard right, another, a third. Georgia Washington driven into the barricade by Angie Angel-Gunz, who wisely returns to the ring. And oh, she is fired up. Angie Angel-Gunz determined to hang on to the Women's International Championship. And Georgia Washington still on the outside, still hooked to that barricade. Angie nails her with a left, follows it up with a right, winds up into the barricade on her own, quickly evades the driving knee of Georgia Washington. They lock up again. Georgia once more driven into the barricade. Angie drives her into the barricade one more time. Georgia Washington catches a double axe handle to the back. Angie Angel-Gunz rounds her up again. Drives her into the apron. Pitches her towards the opposing barricades. Angie Angel-Gunz goes behind. Whoa! A rising knee right to the head of the Yankee ropes. Georgia Washington catching all kinds of hell on the outside. There's a backbreaker from Angie. Georgia quickly back up to a standing position. Misses with her move again, and Angie Angel-Gunz just driving those elbows into the chest of Georgia Washington. Georgia rounded up again. A headlock punch from Angie Angel-Gunz, followed up with a double axe handle. And the referee continues to count. Angie drives the knee of Georgia Washington into the floor, and she certainly felt that one. Angie with another headlock punch makes her way back inside the ring. Georgia Washington reeling As Angie breaks the count, goes back out again, follows it up with a clothesline to the back of the head. Georgia back on her feet. A driving knee from Angie. And Georgia is down again. Another double axe handle to the back. Angie Angel-Gunz quickly countered by Georgia Washington as these two start trading shots on the outside with the referee continuing to count. Angie gets a hold of the tights, has her all the way up for a long stalling vertical suplex. An extreme display of power. Boom! Down goes the Yankee rope. Georgia Washington gathered up to a standing position again by Angie. Driven into the barricade big time. Angie makes her way back inside the ring. Is she going to break the count again? She most certainly is. Georgia charges, doesn't connect. Angie Angel-Gunz gets a hold of her. Another headlock punch right to the face of Georgia Washington. She goes behind. Oh! An underhook German suplex. Angie Angel-Gunz rounds up Georgia. Here's a kick to the midsection, trying for the DDT, but Georgia counters with shots to the midsection. Angie counters with a kick. Angie Angel-Gunz has her by the throat, tries for the chokeslam again, but gets countered into an arm drag by Georgia Washington. Georgia pitches Angie towards the ring steps, but doesn't quite get there. Georgia Washington back inside the ring, now talking trash to Angie Angel-Gunz from a distance. Breaks the count, rolls out again. Angie Angel, whoa! What a jumping neck breaker from Angie. Angie gets a hold of Georgia Washington, gets her back inside. Angie Angel-Gunz quickly makes her way to the top turnbuckle, dives for the elbow, but no. Georgia Washington rolling out of the way just in time. Now Georgia with a snap suplex on Angie. Angie counters with a shot to the midsection. They lock up. Kick to the midsection this time. Winds it up, another jumping neck breaker from Angie Angel-Gunz. Georgia Washington gathered up again. A kick to the gut, and oh, here we go. The flatliner. Angie using just about everything she had to nail Georgia with that flatliner. Covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2. Would have thought that would have been about it, but no, somehow, some way, Georgia Washington finds her way out of a pinning predicament. Angie swings and misses. Georgia swings and misses. Both ladies swing and miss. From behind, a counter elbow from Angie. They lock up again. Escorted towards the ropes goes Georgia Washington. Angie Angel-Gunz whips her to the ropes. Misses with the grapple. Tries it again. Whips Georgia to the far corner. Follows it up with a running clothesline. Down goes the Yankee rolls again. Angie Angel-Gunz drives the knee right into the head of Georgia Washington. Angie, of course, very, very tired of dealing with the Yankee Rose, Georgia Washington, and she wants this over. A heel hook stretch from Angie Angel-Gunz. Georgia Washington favoring the knee here. And here comes some more punishment to the legs as Angie Angel-Gunz locks it in. A leg grapevine. Referee checking things out here. Georgia Washington flailing. And Angie Angel-Gunz refusing to relinquish the hold. Georgia Washington forces her way out finally. Tags Angie with a right. Disengages her. Kick to the midsection from Angie. Georgia puts on the brakes, delivers an elbow to the leg. Angie whipped to the ropes. Georgia Washington ducks under, makes the leapfrog, and whoa, look at this. Whoa, a nasty neckbreaker. Georgia whips Angie towards the far corner, nails her with an elbow. Down goes Angie Angel-Gunz. The Women's International Champion back in trouble again as Georgia Washington starts trash talking her. Georgia Washington really starting to lose it here. A dragon screw as Georgia Washington snaps the leg of Angie Angel-Gunz. And she's going to try and use that figure 8 leg lock if she can to win this match. But right now, up on the top turnbuckle as Angie makes her way to a standing position. Georgia changes her mind, charges, there's a clothesline, follows it up with a second one. Swing and a miss from Angie. A rebound off the ropes and a third clothesline from Georgia Washington. Here's a cover. 1, 2. But barely just a 2. Angie Angel-Gunz kicking out at just about 2. Georgia Washington catches a kick to the midsection from Angie Angel-Gunz. A rebound off the ropes. Another flying punch, and down goes Georgia Washington again. Angie quickly all the way up to the top turnbuckle. Man, she was fast. Georgia stands herself up. Diving shoulder takes Georgia down again. Angie Angel-Gunz measures the distance, drives the knee right into the head of the Yankee Rose. Angie Angel-Gunz one more time with those really aggressive driving elbows to the chest of Georgia Washington. She rolls to the outside looking for a break. She ain't gonna get one. Angie Angel-Gunz to the outside with her, rounds her up, delivers a series of shots, winds up the arm from behind, and suplexes Georgia Washington on the floor. And once again, the referee continuing the count, urging the ladies to get back inside the ring. Georgia with a jawbreaker, misses with the charge big time. Angie with a running kick to the face of the Yankee Rope. Georgia Washington catches another driving knee from the Women's International Champion. Angie winds her up, drives the knee into the head again. Angie Angel-Gunz getting just as aggressive as Georgia Washington has been throughout this entire match. Georgia Washington rolled back inside the ring. Angie Angel-Gunz smelling blood in the water here. Georgia stands up. There it is one more time. She's setting it up. There's the kick, and there's the flatliner. And Angie Angel-Gunz has got to be spent at this point. Georgia Washington being dragged towards center ring. Angie Angel-Gunz covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, and you can chalk this one up. Angie Angel-Gunz retains the Women's International Championship over Georgia Washington.
The time of the fall, 13 minutes, 7 seconds, your winner, and still Women's International Champion, Angie Angel-Gunz.
Looks like Georgia's gonna have to drink a great big bottle of sit down and shut up. Yeah, she fought hard like I expected her to, but Angie wasn't gonna let her walk out of Phoenix with that belt tonight. Angie Angel-Gunz fought her heart out in this one, and by the end, you could see how tired she was. That last flatliner to Georgia took just about everything she had left. Big celebration tonight at Casa Guns for sure, as she not only wins and retains the title, but Georgia Washington is out of her hair for the rest of the summer.
Indeed, Angie Angel-Gunz with a big-time win. We'll be right back with more Hotter Than July right after this.